Hey there. Welcome to the Pine Island Experience podcast. I'm Joanna Anderson with my husband, Trygve. Each of our episodes will be conversations with fellow Pine Islanders.
The goal of our podcast is to share with you our experiences, what we have found to be fun, and what makes the Pine Island experience so unique.
I wanted, because I didn't want to, we all had steady clienteles and elderly people and some young people. But when you uproot your clientele and if they have to go somewhere else, they tend to want to stay with, because they don't want to go back and forth. I thought about it, and even though I should have been retiring at that point, and everybody said, "What are you thinking?" But I just couldn't disappoint the clientele. And the girls that worked for us. It was just, we were a happy family. I wanted to keep it that way, so.
Marvia Cicchino, the owner of Pine Island Family Hair Salon, was talking about her decision to purchase a hair salon in the Winn-Dixie Plaza where she was working. Marvia was worried about her customers and the hairstylists. She had steady clientele she did not wish to disappoint, and she was working with a great team, a happy family she did not want to break up. And now, here is Marvia. We have with us today Marvia Cicchino from the Family Hair Salon. You're in St. James City, down by in the Winn-Dixie Plaza.
Right.
We're so happy you're here.
Thank you.
We had a great time with your daughter, Nicole, when we interviewed her. That was wonderful. And I've heard great things about you. So welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And then we're going to start where we always start, right in the very beginning of your life. Where you just tell us what you want to.
Oh, okay, I was going to say. Right. Too much information sometimes. Right?
So, where you grew up, what you did when you were younger, to coming here and finding Pine Island.
Okay. So I was born in Chicago, Illinois, on the northwest side. And I always wanted to do hair. And when I was in grammar school, I would go home for lunch and I'd come back and I'd go home for lunch and I would redo my hair. And then I'd go back to school and everybody would say, you did a different style on your hair, right? So I was destined to be a hairdresser, I believe. And I've been doing it for 59 years. So
wow.
I think it's been my calling. Then I got married when I was 18. Lived in Chicago then, and then my former husband, decided after a while, because Chicago can be a dangerous place. And, we had robberies and things like that going on. So he decided actually to move to Florida because he knew people here. So we wound up in Interlaken, which is near Jacksonville. And the woman, there was a little grocery store there. And I went there and she asked if we knew anybody that wanted to rent a house or buy a house. And I said, where? And she said, Matt Lachey. And I thought, where the heck is Matt Lachey? So she said, she told me it was near Cape Coral. So I said, oh, okay. Because my ex-husband had a cousin in Cape Coral. So I told him about it and he decided to go visit his cousin and check out the house. So he called me and said, because we were renting a little house in Interlaken. He called me and said, start packing, we're moving. So we wound up in Matt Lachey. And there was a lady down the street that had passed away. And she was a hairdresser, had a little beauty shop there. And her husband came to my house and said, I heard you were a hairdresser. And I said, yeah. And he goes, well, do you want to buy a beauty shop? And I said, nah, I just got there and I wasn't ready for that. Well, I said, I asked him how much, and he told me. And I said, no, I don't think so. So he came by every day and lowered the price until I couldn't say no. So I rented this little beauty shop. It was in her garage. And that's how I started in Matt Lachey. So I was there for like 32 years.
What a great story.
So, and, like I said, I've been here for 59 years. So I've met so many nice people on this island. And there's a couple little stinkers, but you always have that anywhere you go. But yeah, but it's been a good move for me in my life. My kids were both born here. So they grew up here on the island. And my son is now in DeLand, near Orlando. And him and his wife are doing great. And as you know, my daughter has Matlacha Post Office.
Yeah.
So it's been an experience.
She talked about growing up here and loving nature.
Oh, yes, she does.
And photography. And she loved growing up here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, were you in the Chicago proper Northwest section? Or
Northwest section.
Suburbs?
No, in the city.
In the city
Northwest
proper.
side,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that we were in the suburbs for a number of years, and you're right, there's
Right.
a big difference
There's a
between
big
the
difference,
two.
yeah. And being in the city and being in the suburbs, you're safer in the suburbs than in the city. But I had we were in Central Park and North Avenue, and my ex-husband brought this Great Dane, just walked him into my house. And I had 3 cats who climbed up the paneling and they hung from the paneling. And I said, what the heck? And apparently one of the taverns in the neighborhood had been robbed 3 times, and this dog was the watchdog. So he was like, I'm getting rid of this dog. So, of course, my husband, an animal lover, he brought this dog home. So I used to feel safe when I would go anywhere because I would take the dog with me. People would just kind of move away.
They're as big as a horse.
Yeah, oh, yeah. She was a female, called her Baby.
Aww.
She was the greatest thing, but it's too big for an apartment. So I had to find her home, and people had a farm, and they had a male, and they wanted to breed her, so it worked out fine.
Oh, that was perfect.
Yeah. We've had some interesting experiences with animals, and I raised baby raccoons for Crow when we were here because they asked me if I would foster out. People would find little baby raccoons and stuff and call me, ask me, okay, I will. So we'd feed them with baby bottles, and we'd have to slowly release them into the wild.
Oh.
But they're adorable when they're little. But when they get to be teenagers, then there's a problem because they want to play and they climb up your leg and,
Did they ever come back and look?
No, what you do is you have to, when they get a certain age, you have to take them. Like we took them over off of the old Burnstall Road. Mm-hmm. There's a little a pier there and a little water, and it's, a lot of foliage. And we would take them there and let them out of the cage, and they would run around, But they knew, us as parents, so they would run back to us. Oh. So you would do that frequently enough to when they didn't want to come back, and then you would let,
Just keep on
But they were familiar with the area.
Yeah.
And then they would like going there, just like a kid would go into, kindergarten. It's like after a while they get used to it and like it. So that's how we do it, raccoons. But
so they let you know and they were ready
exactly.
to go.
Right.
Wow.
They say, see you, Ma. It's like,
Aww.
Yeah. So we the whole family loved animals. So kids, their friends used to bring their animals to the house. Fix my bird, or it's like
you had a reputation.
Yes, right. So
So when you took the business, it was actually in somebody's garage. Did I understand that?
She
correctly?
had, his wife had enclosed their garage, and she made a beauty shop in the garage. I took over. It was a very small. I think it had 1 chair and a couple dryers, and 1 shampoo bowl. But the prices then, which is interesting now. When I started, it was like $4 for a haircut. That was her prices,
right,
and $11 for a perm. So I kept her prices. It's like, and I thought, oh my God, I'm killing myself. So I had to raise prices, after a while because I thought, she didn't have the overhead because she lived there, but I couldn't do that. But I took over her clientele. Mm-hmm. And I can remember one lady had said to me, because Matlacha is a beautiful area. She said, you're going to find that Pine Island Matlacha is the closest thing to heaven. And I thought, because it's so beautiful, right? And then I found out it's because elderly people, you lose your clients. Oh. So, and she explained that to me. She said a lot of her lady was Irma, a lot of her clients were elderly. And she said, you have to harden yourself because you're going to be losing clients, Oh. So it was hard. Coming from Chicago where I had a younger clientele, it was hard to adjust to an older clientele that would get sick or had cancer and, that type of thing. But you learn that they're like family to you. So it's still hard to this day,
Mm-hmm.
because we lose several clients every year.
Now, did she have a name for the business, or did you change
Her
the name?
her name was Irma's Beauty Salon,
Okay.
and I changed it to Marvia's.
Ah.
So for years I had Marvia's Beauty Salon.
Oh.
And then how long did you stay? Did you then progress to like your own building, or how?
Yeah, I went from there to I went to the shop I'm in now. Actually, when Winn-Dixie was built in 1980, the realtor Nancy Huntsman that used to talk me into going over there. Bigger is not always better, but at that time, so I went there, opened a salon there, and was established. And then the owner tripled the rent, and I thought, no way. And those years, we had a florist in there in the plaza. We had 2 dentists in the plaza, the beauty shop. We had it was like a video store, and then of course Winn-Dixie. And I think there was a hardware store actually in the plaza too. And everybody, when he raised the rent, started
Gone.
leaving. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I came back to Matlacha, rented a building from Lou Gunther, who still is in Matlacha, but he was number 1 realtor, best landlord I ever had, right? But I rented a little building there, and I had 6 operatives, brought them into this little building, and we were just like crawling over each other. So we just kind of had to take turns as far as days working there. But that was a fun time. It was like downsizing from a big shop to a little shop.
Mm-hmm.
But so I was there like 32 years. And then, like I said, after Charlie hit, the building was so damaged, and the landlord at the time it wasn't Lou Gunther. He had sold it. Really had no insurance, didn't want to fix it up. So I called Ann from Pine Island Family Hair and said, how would you like me and my clients to come to your shop? And she said, I love it. I'll help you. I'll help you pack. Right. So and she did. She came over and helped me. And I went over there in 2005 and worked for her, had all my clients that came with me. And then Ann decided to move to her daughter's, who was, I think, in Maryland at the time. I had to do something because me and the other girls didn't want to try to find a place to move our clients in 3 weeks. So I made an arrangement with Wendy. I said, what's it going to take for me to take over the shop? So we made a deal, and I took over the shop and did all the updates, and now I updated again. So now I'm at the point where I want to, you've seen the shop, I want to bring in new girls, more full-time people, a little less work for me.
Right.
Because I am getting 59 years of doing hair. I'm getting arthritis and all that good stuff. So that's the plan, to do that.
Yeah, and it's beautiful.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
It really is.
Yeah.
You did everything in there. Floors, everything.
I redid the floors. I had the whole shop painted. Redid all the plumbing. We have all new stations, all new equipment. And decorated, just everybody comes in and goes, "Oh my God, it looks so nice." It was nice before, but now it's more modernized. Mm-hmm. I feel it's a better work environment for the girls. They're all, they feel peppy when they come in because it looks more modern, I guess. So
it's interesting. The first part of the story, you said that the gentleman had to keep coming back, lowering the price, because
right.
you were hesitant to do it.
Right.
Now flip forward. And the owners decide to leave out, and you're now on the other side of the equation going, okay, what's it going to take for me to get it?
Right.
Was that just experience, or you mentioned like you didn't want to upset the clients and the staff, and you just wanted to be able to stay in an established...
because I didn't want to, we all had steady clienteles, and elderly people and some young people. But when you uproot your clientele, and if they have to go somewhere else,
yes,
they tend to want to stay with, because they don't want to go back and forth. So that was, I thought about it, and even though I should have been retiring at that point, and everybody said, "What are you thinking?" But I just couldn't disappoint the clientele and the girls that worked for us. It was just, we were a happy family. I wanted to keep it that way. So, I have 2 new girls. I have Lori and I have Jessica, and they both work part-time. Jessie works at Captain Conn's. And everybody loves her. She's got a lot of energy, So, and then I have another part-time girl that works. She has her own farm, a tropical fruit farm, so she works part-time. So, but I like I said, get more full-time help in there.
How long when you just had 3 weeks, How long did it take? Did it take 3 weeks to work it all out that you were going to?
I had a hustle. I'll tell you, I had a hustle. So I had to get a new bank account. I had to change everything over into my name, phone, and everything. And so it was a real stressful 3 weeks. But I did it. It's like...
And your people were really happy you did.
Oh, yeah. And they were all worried because, like, where are we going to go? And, I said, don't worry. We're going to figure this out. And
thank goodness you had your own place, too. You knew about
right.
doing the books and...
Right.
Yeah. Making appointments.
Right.
Managing.
Mm-hmm. And the girls that work in the shop, most of them had their own shops at one point in their lives. So, they were all good to work with and help me, so, and supportive. And that was the thing. Like I said, we were kind of a happy family. We don't want to mess that up, And, it's like I said earlier, if you can't come to work and be happy, then don't go to work, So we try to have that atmosphere in the shop where you come in and you laugh and you have fun. And Robin always says, don't worry, be happy. It's like that's her motto. So we have a good group of girls there. So.
And how many are there today?
Well, right now, I've got a girl coming. She's coming in a little bit later, and that's when Jessie works at Captain Con's. And Lori's on vacation. So they're part-time. So it'd be me and Jessie work. Usually there's 2 of us every day.
Okay.
And sometimes 3. But in season, then sometimes there's all, and then it gets really noisy in there.
And you can have how many in there? All those stations you have?
Well, now I've added the 2 new stations on the wall. So we could have up to 7 operators.
That'd be great for people.
Yeah. And at one time, the shop had 7 people working. Booming. That's when Ann had it. It was a booming business. It was really great. So that's what my goal is, to get it back that way. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not interested in retiring, are you? You want to grow. That's great.
Well, as long as I'm upright, I'm okay.
And no more remodels? You're kind of done?
I'm kind of done. Yeah. Right.
Well, how long did that take? That took a while, didn't it?
Months. Yeah. I think I started in March. Yeah, I started in March. But I was like, gung-ho, I'm going to do this, right?
That had to have been hard. I mean, from putting the floors down,
Yeah, because actually I had Floor Mart. I bought the product from them. And then Josh Davis, who's a local floor person. I don't know what you call a floor person, but he's great. He was great. We had to actually move everything so he could work, but he thought he could do it in 2 days, and it turned out, because we had a roof damage at the salon, in the whole plaza. Mm-hmm. And so we got a lot of water damage. So when we were trying to pull up some of the things, the tiles were coming up. So he couldn't put the planks down over that. So he had to rip everything up. So he worked his butt off, and he did a great job.
Yeah, the floors are beautiful.
Yeah, he does great work. And then I had Dwayne. He did the painting of the shop. He's a local handyman on the island as well.
Did a lot of that require permits, or is a lot of that were you just able to do on your own time? And
no, because their interior the floor didn't really require permits or the painting. You don't need it for that. Now the landlady did have the ceiling tiles replaced because they were falling down with water inside.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And she had to have a permit for that. But,
yes, yeah. I only ask because I know sometimes, it's necessary, but it tends to elongate things and add to the frustration, because you're ready to go. Maybe the contractor's ready to go, but you don't have paperwork to do it. So this is a little bit smoother other than the ceiling work.
Exactly. Okay. Right. Yeah.
And then the artwork is yours.
Yes.
Now, I think that's a requirement when you live in Matlacha, that you become an artist. Is that not a true statement?
Well, actually, when I had a beauty shop in Matlacha, there wasn't any art galleries. Oh. And then they started coming in, and I thought, what the heck? It's like, because I just painted just because it relaxed me. And I'd painted for my customers, they wanted a dog, their cat, or whatever, that kind of thing. But then all these art galleries started coming in. So there was a manicurist next door to me, and she goes, because everybody was painting the buildings these crazy colors, and she goes, let's paint the building. And I said, what? It's like, and she had a guy paint it. It was pretty if you were maybe in another country, but it was just like so bright. I was like, holy moly. But it got people's attention because they said, I didn't know it was a beauty shop here.
Oh.
So, when they seen the building, that was interesting. But then again, they had the art nights years ago. I don't know if you were here for that. Once a month on a Friday, they would have what they called art night, and Leoma, Love Grove usually sponsored that. And all the art galleries would be open, and people would come, and the traffic was horrific. It was terrible. And I had to close my shop early because people would pull in front of my door. I couldn't even open my front door.
Wow.
So it was really interesting from then in the 70s and 80s to now, where even just that once a month art night, people would say, we're going to Matt Lachey, because then they would give you, not only you could tour the galleries, but they would give you samples of food and, different things like that. So it really drew a crowd. And at one time, they even had a trolley because the traffic was so bad. People would park across the ridge.
Okay.
And they would trolley them into Matt Lachey so you wouldn't tie up the traffic.
Yeah, great idea.
Kind of like the Yucatan is now, but with people pulling in and out, kind of thing.
So did you participate in that?
I did not because
okay.
not too many people wanted their hair done when they were walking.
No, but you were you?
Well, no, the door was blocked.
Yeah, I couldn't get in my front door or
That's
out.
True.
Right.
Yeah, you had to stay put.
I would leave early for those days because they would have there was a woman next door. She had a piano. She would hire a piano player, and they would play outside.
Oh,
it was
sweet.
really neat. Yeah, it was a fun time then.
Yeah, it must have been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do that again. People hear this and they're like, let's start that again.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I did talk about having an art night. So maybe they'll go ahead with it. Because Matt Lachey, it was hit so hard, they need now to promote something that'll bring more business to the stores there.
What now, the services you offer, it's a family hair salon. So I'm thinking it's men, women, and children.
Yes, we do men, women, and children. We don't have too many young kids, little kids, school kids mostly. And we do, we offer full service salon. We do color, perms, haircuts, shampoo, we do updos, so we do roller sets. A lot of shops don't do roller sets anymore. Even if people want to just come in just for a shampoo. We have a lot of people that maybe had to go to the hospital and they just got home and they just can't lift their arms or whatever. So we welcome them to come in and get a shampoo and it gives them a lift.
And waxing, do you do that?
We do eyebrow waxing as well, yes. We do ear piercing.
Oh, you're kidding. Ear piercing.
We do. Well, I don't do it.
You don't do it.
Robin does.
Does Robin sell jewelry too?
No. I tried that for a while. So it really doesn't go over well because you got too many other places on the island.
Yeah. I thought maybe when she pierced an ear, she...
Oh, I do have we do have the earring studs and stuff that you can pick from, yeah.
That's a nice service.
Yeah, we try to incorporate a little bit of everything.
And then what are your hours right now? Because you'll probably expand them soon.
Well, right. I can get some more help in there, I will. Yeah. Right now, it's just like I get there about 8 o'clock, and I leave a little bit earlier because I don't know if I told you I don't drive. So my daughter kind of works with me on that. But generally, we're there from 9 to 3 or 4. Unless it's really slow, then, in summer, we leave a little earlier. But we pretty much in summer work by appointments.
But you must have walk-ins during the season.
We do have, yes. In the season, it's
huge.
We have a lot of walk-ins, yes. So, which is another reason I would like to get some more full-time help in there to take on the walk-ins because, even we don't like to take away from people that have appointments. So you don't want to squeeze a walk-in in when you got someone that has an appointment because it's common courtesy.
Right.
So if I can get more help that can handle the walk-ins, that's the goal for season.
What days are you open?
We're open Monday through Friday. So we used to be open on Saturdays, but Saturdays got to be a slow day.
Yeah.
Because everybody, is retired.
Mm-hmm.
So we will come in on Saturdays for people at work, by appointment once again. So.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. You'll open it up for them.
Right.
That's funny how you make adjustments, isn't it? Your whole focus, everybody in the area works is, well, I know I'm going to get slammed Saturday and potentially Sunday. They run errands because they're not working. They're not tired from working.
Right.
Now you have this environment, which is
totally different.
Almost everybody is retired, semi-retired, it seems. And so they don't need the weekends to do errands.
Exactly. Right. And so that Saturdays used to be a good day, when years ago. But now it's got to be, like you say, people that are retired, they don't, they can come anytime. Because like in Chicago, I used to work Saturdays and Sundays, for working people. But it's a different atmosphere down here than Chicago for sure. But
do you have any stories you can tell? I mean, experiences with all the hair cutting you've done? Do you have people come in and say, just do a makeover on me, or anything that's lighthearted? Or
well, I don't know about lighthearted. I had years ago when I was in Matlacha, there was a local woman that she liked to visit blah blah in bars, right? And I was warned about her, and don't ever do her after 2:00. And I was like, what? You know. So she comes in, and it was like I was getting ready to run because I lived right down the street at the time. Run home, and she goes, and she was quite intoxicated. She goes, I need my hair shampooed. Just come on, just shampoo my hair. I said, oh, okay. So I was shampooing her hair, and she passed out in my sink. And I was like, what do I do now? And I'm going, Jean, please. And I'm shaking her. I had to go get the landlord to get her out of my shampoo bowl.
Oh no!
And then I had to try to dry her hair off, you know, so and sober her up. So, and then we had to take her home. So it was like, welcome to Matlacha. It's like, so you always got your locals that you can have a fun story about, you know, like Ernie Long. You know, there was always stories about him. And he used to call me Little Bit. And he'd walk around with his, what they call Pine Island Reeboks, you know, the boots.
Yeah.
And no shirt. And it's just like, he was always intoxicated. And he'd be staggering down the street and almost, you know, he'd say, hey, Little Bit, you know, and then he'd go in the store and he'd pass out in the store. Just like, because it was all the locals knew him. So it was fun. It was interesting. I used to think it was like the Wild West when I first got there. It was like, you know.
Invariably, along the way, you've met somebody, you'd say, oh, I see you have a tattoo. They said, oh, God, I'm so sorry I got it. I was really drunk. And so I go, tattoo parlor. I did not expect you to say you had a client fall asleep at the bowl.
The shampoo bowl. Right.
It must have relaxed her having her hair done.
Well, no, I think it relaxed her. And plus, she had several drinks.
She's some relaxation.
So she was so relaxed, she was like out of it. It's like, Jean, please get out of my shampoo bowl. It was funny. And and then had him get the woman that took over her shop, the husband, and he was a drinker as well. So I was like, I don't know what shape he's going to be in to help me. So it's like, you know, we got her up, and she was fine, and we got her home, and she was fine.
So never after 2:00.
No, never take her after 2:00. So it's like you learn from experience.
You know your customers.
Yes, right.
So then how best do people get a hold of you, particularly if they want to make appointments? Is it phone calls or?
Yeah, we have walk-ins that make appointments, or you can call. Okay. Yes. My number's on the window, and 283-7000. So,
yeah, you really have a nice number. And we all know where the
Winn-Dixie Plaza is, so that's easy.
Yes, and we're right next to CVS, right? Yeah.
It's a nice one.
I kept the phone number because it's easy for people to remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lucky 7,000.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Well, is there anything that we missed that you wanted to talk about today or advertise or?
No, I think we covered everything.
Just tell them come down and just peek at the shop.
That's right. Come and see the shop.
All that work that you do.
Yeah. I mean, the girls from CBS came over and, oh, my God, it looks so good. Because they hear me hammering and pounding.
Right.
So people,
what are you doing now? Right.
So when people are shopping, they should just stop by and see.
Stop by and, yeah.
It's just beautiful.
Yeah. And I've been in business, on the island, like I said, for 49 years now. And so this July, it'll be 50 years I've been on the island.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about having a meet and greet type of thing for the clients and new people that haven't been to salon, and maybe we'll have a little buffet. So I'll advertise that in advance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And congratulations on your 50th.
Thank you.
That's wonderful.
We hope you enjoyed our Pine Island Experience podcast. If you have any ideas for us, people to interview, or any comments, please feel free to email them to us at pineislandexperience@gmail.com. That's pineislandexperience, all one word, @gmail.com. Don't forget to like us, and you may subscribe to this podcast using all the major catchers like Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Thanks again for listening, and remember, island life is a constant vacation. We'll see you on the next podcast.